The essential soft air for men. Men must ensure that they create a soft air for themselves. Now, we already know that overall men are marginalized. You do something small, it's going to be magnified. You do something against a woman, you're going to be penalized heavily. You make a wrong decision, you're going to pay for it for the rest of your life. What's going on, Moscow Post? Welcome to the channel. Let's talk about it. The essential soft air for men. Now, you know, this is not a competition about men against women and so forth. I'm not here to bash women. This is not the point. But if you hear women that say, well, it's hard being a woman, all these guys are jerks, all these guys are losers, all these guys no money, all these guys are ugly, they don't want to take you on expensive dates and so forth. Now, the possible privilege that a woman can have, a thing that could occur to almost every woman if she is desiring of it, is marriage or a committed relationship. The reason why a lot of women suffer not getting that is because they often choose not to. Because oftentimes from late primary, and I'm saying late primary on purpose, like let's not get it twisted, from late primary, excuse me, secondary school, college, I would say almost every woman has had a chance to find someone who likes them deeply, like likes them, is obsessed with them, and if that person was, if the woman reciprocated that person would do almost, let's just say, whatever for them. That would do a lot for them. So, but oftentimes as women are like, nah, but I like him instead. I don't like you, and I'm pursuing my studies. I'm not interested in dating, and then I'm too beautiful to settle. All the kind of reasoning, because even the not so good looking girls will have reasons as to why they don't allow that guy. But it's not the case for men. Okay, so there, for the most part, most women would have a salvation parachute. Let's call it salvation parachute where if she, whatever she's doing is not working, she could have marriage. Where, and you know what marriage usually represents: the man takes on responsibility. I love you and I care for you. And a lot of men, they tend to be obsessed with women. They do, and when they're obsessed in the marital sense, they tend to do everything for the woman. You know, but the only sabotage on the women's end is that they don't take the men seriously who are obsessed with them. They chase the guys who are not good for them. And then when all that value is depleted and they've rejected all these guys are brokenhearted. They seek for those guys. And that's the only problem on the end. But this video is not about that. The point is I'm saying how to create a soft era for you as a man. Because nobody gonna come and say, I'm gonna marry you unless I don't know what lifestyle you're into. As a man, you have to be willing to be comfortable with discomfort. So that's labor. And you have to learn new territories such as investment. You have to learn to invest as a man. If you don't learn to invest, all your labor will be stored in a 401k or superannuation if you're in Australia. So if you don't if you do not think about your soft landing, your soft era, it's not going to happen. It's very imperative as a man, as you age, that you create a soft air for yourself. We work too hard, often abused these days online, to be honest. Let's call it what it is. It is abuse, where you can't say nothing. You're hating, you're shaming, you can't say anything, can't critique. So it's your duty though to create that reality for you, that retirement. And you're not gonna get it from the government hands because they're gonna work you like a horse and then trying to give you a pension when you're old and you can't do nothing. When you're 65, 70. Most people don't have the energy. And the food quality is so terrible that most people do not have the energy levels when they're aged, when they're older. So if you want your soft era, and every man deserves it because we work a lot. I'm talking about the responsible man. Those are guys who are about their business. Those guys who wake up every morning. I've been in business a long time. I work with a lot of contractors, tradesmen, different skill sets. Oftentimes men that work with their hands. But I want this message to resonate with the young people. If you spend your days buying shoes, buying experiences such as renting cars to please women, you're not going to enjoy your soft era. You're supposed to create a soft era. When a man is aged, it's no longer about how good he looks. You may be able to get some coochie because you're handsome now. But when you're aged, it's about the value, true value you bring to society. So if you're not bringing that value when you're aged, you are not going to have a good life. You're not going to have a soft era. And we ought to have that. And we have to have it earlier rather than later because the quality of life is not the same because a lot of people are not eating good food. So I wanted to bring this message because I recognize a lot of people spoil their youth. It's like somebody gives you a whole, 200-liter milk, and that represents your youth, and you let it spoil. So women can somehow get a rescue parachute, a salvation plan, because some guy may marry them because she still looks good enough. But men need to create that for themselves. Now, you cannot overspend your youth when you're young by taking drugs and drinking too much, partying and having babies all over the place. You got to be responsible. So if you want to have a good life, you got to learn the fundamentals. Number one, be disciplined in your work. Be an honest discipline in your work. Number two, learn how to invest. Whether it's having an apartment, two apartments, learn a skill set like such as a trade, like fixing your own things, not for the sake of work, but for your own sense of manhood. Because when the time comes when you age, and most people who are my age can testify to the fact I'm 42, it comes around very quickly. You'll be able to be okay. I want our people to do better. We're so obsessed with vehicles, uh, lifestyle, trips, that we're not going to create a soft era for ourselves. And a man needs a soft era so he can enjoy his life when he's not so obsessed with, so he's not so burdened by labor. So if you want to have a more comfortable life going forward, because in the early days you have to, like, we don't mind breaking our backs, working our fingers to the bone. And as a young man, I do believe that you can work. Some of us are privileged. Some of the young people are privileged that they have online businesses. They're not grinding as hard. They influencers are making money, but it's not for everybody. But if you want to be somewhat, if you want to figure out this life out, work your butt off, but do not be caught up in the nonsense, the flashy money, fast life. Be diligent so you can enjoy your soft life. Because when you're age, you don't have the energy to want to go out life the way you used to when you're young. So you can have a soft era. I have said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.